So to cut our total contact cast off, we're going to need to use a cast saw and some cast splitters. A couple things before you begin: you need to wear the appropriate PPE, which can include a gown, gloves because you're dealing with fiberglass, and then definitely I wear a face shield with eye and kind of respiratory protection, but you can wear goggles and just a nose and mouth mask, whatever, but you do need to have eye and respiratory protection. A couple things about using the saw. It's kind of a misnomer that a saw can cut you because it has like a vibratory blade and not a rotating one, excuse me. However, if you leave the saw in place too long, it can heat up and it can injure the patient. So a couple things: your index finger needs to be on this kind of blade guard right here. If you start holding the cast saw out here, you're not going to have much control when you're cutting. So index finger needs to be right up against the blade. Also, when you make your cuts, it's appropriate to go in the cast, come out a little bit, and then to the next place. We never kind of run the saw along our cast because you will be really ineffective at cutting it off. So again, we're going to go in, out a little bit, and then to the next place. In, out, and then to the next place. Okay? Several methods of cutting it off. You can just cut it straight down the front, but sometimes it's hard for the patient to get their leg out that way. Or you can cut it, you can kind of bivalve the cast and make a splint later if you choose. I like to bivalve that, again, because I never know when I'm going to need to make a splint. So I'll go ahead and put my mask on. I'll show you a couple passes with the saw, and then show you how to use the cast splitters. Usually the saw is in two settings, kind of this lower setting and the higher. It's easier to cut it off with the higher. So if you've cut through all of your materials appropriately, you should be able to insert the cast spreaders and spread the cast apart to where you can visualize cast padding. That's when you know that you've gone through all of the necessary layers.